AM 210 classmates and Mrs. B. For some of you who don't know, my name is Leary. Anyway, right now I'm going to be making some stops and maybe going for a little joyride. Would you like to go? Alrighty then, well, hop on in. Let's go! Hi, welcome to my car. First and foremost, you need to put on your seatbelt. Well, okay then, let's go. Life is like a journey. Although we may sometimes be uneasy, confused, and excited because of it, the people we meet, the obstacles we face, and the experiences that we encounter are what make this journey memorable. People are conditioned to live life in a certain way. However, through time and experience, they lose their innocence. Thus, in order to find their identity, they either conform or rebel against the society that they are a part of. In addition, they make new relationships with other people. But, like all journeys, there must be one final destination. Life's final outcome is death. And although death may be inevitable, one key component holds true. Life, which is composed of obstacles, achievements, memories, and social relationships, must never be taken for granted. Oh, hey! There comes a time in each person's life when he or she must face the truth of society. In doing so, they may go through some life-changing experiences. One piece that describes the theme of innocence and experience is Langston Hughes' Salvation. Salvation describes a boy who undergoes characterization. At first, this young man does not have a set definition of what religion is to him. However, as the story unfolds, the audience notices that young Langston forms his definition of religion. I can relate to this because I was first born into the Catholic religion. When I was a Catholic, I didn't really understand the practices and the tradition of the religion. However, in my sophomore year of high school, I converted into being a Christian. Upon doing so, my relationship with Jesus had changed. Just like young Langston, I found my meaning of religion. Oh, hello there! After one has gone through some life-changing experiences, he or she continues life's journey by finding out more about him or herself. One way to do this is either to conform or to rebel against his or her society. One piece that clearly illustrates this is Amy Tan's Two Kinds. In this piece, Tan uses characterization and diction to portray conformity and rebellion. At first, the speaker tries to impress her mother by becoming the perfect Chinese daughter. However, when she doesn't meet her parents' wishes, she realizes that this does not make her happy. Instead, she rebelled against what her mother wanted for her. In order to portray diction, Tan uses words and phrases like "ni kan," which translates to "you watch." Through the use of characterization and diction, Tan portrays conformity and rebellion. I can relate to the speaker in Amy Tan's piece because, like her, I rebelled against my parents. During my senior year of high school, I started staying out late and letting my grades drop. Like the speaker's mother, my parents were also disappointed in me. They started to give up hope in me and they didn't really believe in me anymore. However, I knew that I had to act this way because I had to mature as an individual. Like the speaker in Amy Tan's piece, I had to rebel against my parents' wishes. In the end, I turned out to be a better person, and I'm pretty thankful because I'm happy to become the person I am today. Oh, hey! Finally, I found you! Anyway, another way of discovering oneself besides conforming or rebelling against one's society is to seek one's culture and identity. One piece in the text that illustrates this is Virginia Woolf's What If Shakespeare Had Had a Sister? In this text, she uses an empowering tone. In addition, she expands on the theme of undermining a person just because of their gender. Back in high school, many of the guys in my PE class didn't want to choose me to play with them for football against other classes. This was because they felt that I wasn't strong enough, fast enough, or maybe even tall enough. However, one day I was actually lucky enough to be chosen. On this day, I was a key component in winning my class's victory. This was because the other boys on the other team couldn't even catch up with me. My experience illustrates what Virginia Woolf was trying to say. Just because society feels that you aren't good enough doesn't mean that you can't succeed. Instead, you must use your talents and what you have to prove them wrong. In addition to finding one's identity, one must establish relationships in his or her life. Without doing so, he or she may live a lonely life. In the text, the theme of love and hate is portrayed. One piece that clearly illustrates this is a piece written by Carolyn Kaiser. This piece is entitled Bitch. Carolyn Kaiser creatively uses tone, figurative language, and a connotation of the word bitch. Throughout the poem, the speaker is upset with her former lover. At first, the tone of the piece is bitter and resentful. However, as the poem slowly unfolds, the tone changes into something more reminiscent and wistful. This illustrates how the speaker was first angry with what her former lover had done to her. Later, she realizes that although she must really dislike him, she also really misses him. In the poem, Kaiser also uses figurative language. The type of figurative language she uses is symbolism. During the poem, the speaker often refers to an inner bitch inside of her. This inner bitch symbolizes how much she was angry with her former lover. Finally, Kaiser uses a connotation of describing the literal meaning of the word bitch. She also uses it to describe an unpleasant woman. This poem is easy to relate to because many people go through breakups. I have gone through one myself. After my first harsh breakup, I felt the same way that the speaker did in this poem. At first, I was really angry with him for what he had done to me. When I finally met up with him, I felt that anger all rushed back into me. However, I slowly remembered how much I loved him and missed him. So in a way, I also felt like the speaker. I felt a mixture of love and hate for my former lover. Carolyn Kaiser's piece clearly illustrates the theme of love and hate by using tone, figurative language, and a connotation of the word bitch. After one has experienced the many obstacles in life will eventually come to an end. Death is an inevitable part of life that no one can escape. Woody Allen's Death Knocks clearly portrays the theme of death in a funny and amusing way. Allen uses a sarcastic and funny tone to describe death's untimely arrival. In addition, he uses personification to give death human-like characteristics. With tone and personification, Allen illustrates death in a lighter mood. Although death is a serious issue, viewing it in a less morbid manner may be a better approach for some to accept that life does not go on forever. For example, if I were on my deathbed, I would not view death in such a depressing way. Instead, I would try to live my last few hours with friends and family. In addition, I'd ask them to make me laugh and smile. That way, I could die happily.